Hello, and welcome to episode 7 of my Age of Engineering series. Today, I'd like to recover from the comedy of errors that occurred in the last episode and finish completing our blast furnace from IE. A little faster, a little less, just a little simpler to run than this blast furnace. As you can see, we have our 56 slag that we're going to need. I allowed this to run, just sat and let it run overnight. We also have 56 of our nether brick and our 3 measly blaze rods that we died repeatedly to bring back. Let's stick those in the macerator real quick, get those going. So today, I want to finish the blast furnace, get that going. I also want to get into the calculator a little more and see about getting a atomic reconstructor, which is going to require, what do we have? Enriched gold from calculator, reinforced iron from calculator, and an iron casing, which we've dealt with before. Not a problem. With the atomic reconstructor, once we get that running, what that's going to allow us to do is to create our Inori crystals. Pretty simple piece of iron, hit it with the atomic reconstructor and you get an Inori crystal. And the reason I want those is because I want to get into some better power and get into some immersive engineering power generation. And in order for to do that, we need the kinetic dynamos, which requires the Inori crystals for the copper coils. Once we have this going, then we can really improve our power situation, get into some immersive engineering, and open things up quite a bit. Maybe get into the next age. Let's see what we have. Next age is the empowering age. Okay, that's kind of going right along with what we were talking about with the atomic reconstructor and also getting the empowerer. Once we get into that, we can go into the farming age, start getting some automatic farms, things like that. So, sounds like blaze powder is completed. Let's get our blast bricks made. Blast bricks. And there's 28. We're going to need our engineer's hammer. I'm not too sure. I'm not going to be too fussy on where I put this because we're getting to the point now where I really have to start thinking about what I want to do for a long-term base. I have some ideas. I'm kind of leaning towards like a medieval castle type look. Exterior look like a medieval castle, multiple levels inside. Probably different types of manufacturing, etc. Maybe some smeltering and ore processing, things like that in the basement. Pretty sure we're going to need to get into mob farms, things like that. Those type of things can be in the basement. So that's where I'm kind of leaning. So all of this is going to have to be disassembled and moved in order to do that. So it really doesn't matter where I place it, because it's all going to be relocated. I'll probably do the majority of that in between episodes. I am definitely not the greatest builder, so doing that in video, probably not the best idea. I'm first to admit that I'm rather inefficient with it and kind of slow. Takes me a little while to formulate my ideas on what I want and everything. So, okay, now for our blast furnace, we are going to need the coal coke that we've been cooking up over here, and some more iron. Let's just take a stack of it. We have, what do we have? We have 257 in there, so we're doing okay on iron. Get this in there, that in there, and much simpler, much easier. Once we get enough steel, then we can go to the reinforced blast brick, which requires a steel plate and the same 8 blast brick. We can just disassemble this, use the same ones. What's nice about getting to the next level of blast furnace for immersive engineering is then we can kind of start to automate things a little bit. The steel and the slag automatically output into adjacent inventories, and we can kind of start a little bit of automation going. Okay, so we have that. Now, we have our calculator. We need to power it so we can start making things. That's going to require power cube, I believe, from calculator. Cobblestone, block of redstone, compressed coal block, which is going to require 16 coal powder. Okay. Let's go ahead and stick the coal in the macerator. Not going to fit. Okay. What else? Atomic constructor, iron casing. Okay. So we need iron ingots, black quartz, and advanced machine. Advanced machine casings. We're going to require advanced alloy, a basic machine casing. We've done those, that's not a problem. Advanced alloy. Require iron plates, bronze plates, tin plates. Okay, we're starting to head down a little bit of a rabbit hole. Alright, let's see what we have. Gonna need to make some bronze. This is set up here so I can automate seared bricks. You can see I've made a drawer, started storing it, seared brick blocks. I'm thinking I kind of want to have this really dark medieval castle look, and so it's going to require a lot of seared brick. It's going to be kind of a good sized structure. How much do we have? Ooh, we got quite a bit going here. Alright, well, I need bronze. So we have a little bit of bronze made already. Vibrant. Bronze. Noises from the RCT machines. On one hand, it's kind of cool. On the other hand, kind of like the immersive engineering pressure. Iron in there. Let's do that. Carbon plates. Okay, we need a lot more coal. One thing at a time. I don't want to put a bunch of coal in there. Forget what I'm doing. The wrong type of compressed coal. Okay, so where should we go ahead and build this castle? I don't want to have to relocate this, and I don't want to run too much more of the insulated gold cable because there is a slight reduction in EU for each one that there is. So the longer we run it, the less efficient it is. So I want to keep this relocated pretty much where it is. But given that, based on placement of portal, everything else can be moved except for this. So that gives us a lot of real estate. Kind of like to incorporate our mine here. At least have it, if not part of the castle, at least very close to it. So maybe it would be, if it's not inside the castle, it would be part of the castle grounds. And we can go through, maybe do a little bit of landscaping on the interior, create a perimeter wall, things like that. Just some ideas. Like I said, most of that will be done off camera. While the compressor get those coils. I'm really digging this setup here. I've used IC2 before in the past, and we are not going through nearly as quickly as I have before, so I'm excited about that. Most of the time, I run this really inefficiently, and these ships run constantly. Alright. So you see how much faster this is? Eventually, you know, we get enough iron or get enough steel. Like I said, we'll create the advanced one, and then it'll automatically output these, and we can just keep it running. I have a feeling steel is going to be a big piece of what we're going to be doing in the future. Okay, this is finished. That. Okay, you need to go in the compressor. You need to get some black quartz out of here. Just grab 16. Sounds good. Macerate these. So on this, we have the iron casing, which is made from two different advanced machine casings. The Tech Reborn one requires this machine block, and this machine block triggers age 10, so we are not anywhere near where we need to be to do that. So that's why we choose the IC2 advanced. We're going to need some steel plates eventually. Getting close. We have the mesh. We have the basic machine. We have the advanced alloy. So we're going to need more steel. Get that going. We are getting close. In the meantime, this thing is going to need power. So, what are some survival generator? What are we going to need for that? Furnace, some cobblestone, some redstone, and a steel mechanical. Okay, not so bad. We can do that. Let's do that real quick. That way we can power this thing up. Yes, today we seem to be a little disorganized, just kind of going all over the place. I apologize for that, but it's after the last episode and, you know, dying repeatedly, all of that, just kind of took a few days away and just trying to get back into the swing of things. Redstone, and we have our survival generator. So now we can create some more, so that's good. What else were we working on? We were working on power. That's what we needed these for. Okay, we have those. More redstone. A little more cobble. Now we can power up our calculator. Let's run back here. There. I guess we're going to create everything anyway. So let's set survival generator there, power there, throw some coal in there. And now we're building up RF, and then with that, we can start powering our calculator. Alright, moving right along. Also, sounds like this is finished up. Actually, I'm just going to set that aside for right now. We'll smelt that up later. quartz is finished. Now back to our atomic reconstructor. Okay, we need our steel plates. Let's see, we need our other, oops, let's just throw it on the ground, why don't we? Let's go see if that one's finished. It is. Fantastic. That should give us everything we need for the advanced machine casing. Okay, we have that. Okay, we need 4 iron and we have 4 steel. Okay, let's just put that away. Alright. There's our iron casing. Now, all we need is our calculator so we can get the remaining items. Okay, so when you have the calculator, right click it while it's in your hotbar and it opens up this interface. So basically you're adding 2 different components to create a third. This basic calculator, that's all this does. Okay, so for this we're going to need enriched gold. And through the calculator, all that is a gold ingot and a redstone ingot, and we're good. We need 4. Each recipe makes 4, so we need 1 redstone, 1 gold. Click those. There's our enriched gold. Easy, easy. Now we also need reinforced iron. Reinforced iron is regular iron plus reinforced stone. Reinforced stone, you get 4 with cobblestone plus logs. So let's take care of that. A couple of those. Let's grab 1 more cobblestone. Let's just take it out of there since we're right here. Cobblestone plus logs. Now we have 8 reinforced. And then just for this recipe, okay, and voila, atomic reconstructor. Also for this, almost forgot, the reconstructor is, when you first set it down, it's on a constant pulse mode, so it just constantly pulses and is a huge energy waster. With a redstone torch, you can turn it into pulse mode, and so every time a button is pressed, then you get 1 pulse. Huge time saver on energy. Okay, we'll set that there. We'll change it to pulse, and then we'll take our button. We'll just set it right here on the side. We don't want to have just, an infinite pulse. So let's just grab another one of our cobblestone here and create basically just a backer. And we'll just set it there. So we drop the items that we want to pulse right here, hit the button, and there we go. Alright, so we have our power cube. This one is filling up slowly. Once this poor little survival generator is trying to feed both of these at the same time, so that's going to take a little bit of time. Okay, now time to get serious. Now that we have the ability to make our kinetic what are they again? Kinetic dynamos. Now that we have the ability to make those, now I need to decide where I want to set up my power gen area. Early game like this, typically I like to set up a whole series of Immersive Engineering's water wheels. They are a fantastic early game power source. They're just, I can't even think of the term. They require nothing from you. They're no additional resources. They just constantly just sit there and generate power. Put enough of them together and they make a significant amount of power with limited resources. So let's see. Trying to envision where the castle is going to be and how I want to do the power gen. Well, let's see. How am I going to incorporate this? Well, just for aesthetic's sake, let's just set it up. I'll show you the basic setup back here. Okay. So you want to go 5 wide, and you want this center to be 3 by 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's how much space the water wheels require. We run 3 of them side by side. That's the maximum that you can stack together. So when you make them, they're actually a 7 by 7 circle. So they're pretty good sized. This first one with the way the circle runs, we want to have our first water sources here, and then a second set of water sources here, and then a third set of water sources cascading over the top. I've used this design many times, and for me, it seems to be the highest generating system I can come up with. I've seen some other systems that say that they produce more RF, but I can't, for the life of me, seem to be able to replicate them. So this one I have tested and used multiple times. Each one of these sets of 3 creates roughly about 76 RF per tick, and so I usually tend to run 3 or 4 of them and then link them all together into capacitors. So that's kind of the plan here. Not very aesthetic at the moment. I might use chisel or something like that to go through and change all this cobblestone, but this is the basic setup here. Then you just go through and you build this up till it's 7 high. It also creates a good use for the creosote that's backing up our coke oven here. Requires treated wood to make the water wheels, and so we can go ahead and use it to make quite a bit of treated wood and clear some of this backlog creosote out so we can continue with our coal coke production. Okay, so far we are doing well. Slowly generating RF, getting these filled up. Do I have I got plenty of cobblestone. I might as well just finish this real quick. Okay, we're at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're going to need a couple of these across the front here like so. I'm excited to get some RF going here. Once we have regular power gen, a lot of things are going to open up. I'm really looking forward to getting some Ender IO machines going, getting the alloy furnace. It's going to be one of my top priorities. Oops. There we go. Okay, so this is the basic setup for all of our water wheels. Not very pretty, like I said. Usually I try and incorporate it into some kind of mountainside, something like that, and then create a stream and everything to appear like it's a natural stream coming through and turning the water wheel. But for these purposes, this setup works just fine. We'll go ahead and we'll set a series of these up. Probably do that off cam. Let's go through and get ourselves some planks. We're going to want treated wood planks. Let's create a little space in our inventory here. There we go. I have to go harvest some wood. It looks like I'm getting low. Oh, no, we have plenty. Very good. Alright. So, what we want to do, go through, get a stack of planks, place them in a circle like so. Hello? Where'd you go? Okay. Where did the bucket go? That is so weird. Did one of these eat it? No, not that one. Not that one. That is so weird. Now I can't pick. Okay. Okay, our bucket just vaporized. Huh. Well, I guess we better make another one. Pull that out. Make another bucket. Let's try this again. Huh. That is so strange. And then we just go back and forth and get ourselves a stack of treated wood. I typically use a lot of this treated wood in my builds. There's something about, it has just enough red in it that it really complements well with the seared brick and the spruce wood, things like that. So I typically like dark oak planks and then the spruce wood, just the spruce wood. But I think that's going to be kind of the color scheme for our castle. Probably dark oak planks, flooring, and probably some of the spruce wood in areas as accents, and then a lot of the seared brick for the main structure. Okay, now if I recall, to do this I need roughly 48 sticks. And then we'll just put the rest of the planks there. Look up the recipe for the water wheel parts. That gives us enough for 12 parts. Then we need 3 steel. And that allows us our 3 water wheels. So, in our little enclosure here, let's give ourselves a way to exit. Okay, so we want to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Set that there. See what I mean? These things are huge. And the third one, we want to set right there. Excellent. Okay. Grab our cobblestone back. Plug the holes. Okay. Let's get our water flowing. There must be a water source here close. Sorry about this. This is going to be a lot of running back and forth. Am I going to be able to do it? No, I should have done this before. That's okay. Probably access it from right here. Okay, set one water source there. Then if we put the second one in the opposite corner, those two will merge, and then you have a constant flow. Not going to be so lucky for the second tier, because since it's flowing downhill, we have to put each one in individually. And if I recall, there we go, like that. Back and forth. Number 2. And number 3. Should be able to access from here. Plug that back up. Let's create a stairwell. Let's do it on this side. Let's create a stairwell up. Okay, one there, one there, there, like so. Now we can access the top. 3 more buckets of water. I should just make 3 buckets. I'll probably do that for the other ones. Like I said, I'll probably build those off of cam. But I want to get this first one set up so you can see how the initial setup is done. And the last bucket. Okay. So now we have our water wheel. We're going to want to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be it. Yes, it is. We want to expose that hub right there because that's where we're going to place our kinetic dynamo. that I showed you earlier. So let's see, we're going to need for the copper coil, we need to make some LV wires. Okay, LV wires, copper plates with shears. Do I have a set of shears? Probably not. I don't recall any. Nope. Okay. Okay, so it's 1 for 1. So we need 16 copper plates. Oops, wrong button. Copper plates, we'll get those going. Okay, didn't look like it started there for a moment. And we're going to need 1 iron. Throw that down there, push the button, and that's the beauty right there. Okay, what else do we need? 3 iron, 2 redstone. Let's get those. We are getting so close to a nice renewable RF source. I've seen some builds where they just have like 5 wide and then they build them 5 tall, and they have this huge structure just of water wheels. Get thousands of RF per tick just from water wheels. I'm going to be happy if we just get maybe 4 of these set up across here and have them feed some capacitors so we have some renewable power and not have to sit there and rely on a survival generator burning up coal. Because there are definitely some really powerful RF generating systems that we're going to be able to get into later on. Okay. How are you looking? Getting close? Cobalt inventory. Might as well just start processing that, get it going. Not sure why I have 3 computers. Let's just throw those there. After the chaos of the last episode, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Excavator for doing a lot of the things for building. The only problem is that you need a forge table. Maybe that's what it's called. Tool forge. And the recipe for this, I mean, we can do it now because it requires dense steel plates. Each one of these is 9 steel plates. So just to make this, it's 36 steel. That's why I haven't even bothered to even look at it. But we're getting to the point now to where this is a possibility. I may do this off camera as well, and so I can just get my excavator built and full construction of our new base. So we almost have that much steel in here now, so yeah, that won't take very long. Plates are here. you'll set that in place. Okay, just set you in there. This dot actually needs to be faced the other direction. So we'll use our engineer's hammer, spin it around. What you want to see is you want to see this back plate. Okay. Also through immersive engineering, we have power connectors and power relays that we need to make. The low voltage power connectors also requires the atomic reconstructor, I believe. LV wire connectors. Yeah, so we need Estonia crystals, copper, and hard clay. How are we doing on clay? We're fine. Let's go ahead and get some of this smelted up. At least 2 Estonians. Turn around. That's why I gotta get my base order. I can't even remember where I'm at. Throw those down. I don't think they're where they need to be. Let's see. There we go. Estonia crystals, copper. Okay. Now we have our wire connectors. So these connectors are used to take power out of machines and also to put power in machines. So each one, each circuit requires 2. So we'll put one of these here, and poop, 256 RF buffer was filled instantly. So we are now ready. We are generating power. We have a way to get it out. We connect the wire connectors with the LV wires. There's different tiers of wire depending on how much power you're producing. With what we're producing with these, low voltage is just fine. Okay, so we are basically ready to start powering machines. This looks like a good place to go ahead and end the video today. Really excited. We've kind of recovered from the last episode, made some good progress. Next episode, probably advance into another age. Now that we have some RF production, we'll get the Empowerer made, and we can start maybe thinking about automated farms, things like that. Okay, so based on that, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.